Hi, what's up guys? I'm back with another one. Today I'm going to be looking at, it's a question out of a paper 2. Okay, so you can see it's a 3 question. So let's look at it. So it says a right angle triangle has sides A, B and C and the angle theta, okay, as shown below. And there we can see there is the right angle triangle 4.1.1. Okay, so they say now we have to write the following in terms of A, B, and C. Okay, so A says we have to write cos theta, right, in terms of A, B, and C. And as we can quite clearly see there is your angle theta, and we know cos equals adjacent, right? So this is adjacent to that angle. Remember, adjacent is next to, so adjacent over hypotenuse, right? So if we were to say this, we could say now that cos theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So therefore cos theta equals, and we can see that is B over C, right? B over C. Okay, let's go back to the question. The next one says tan theta. Okay, and we know tan, if this is your angle over here, we know tan is going to be, right, there's your angle. Tan will now be opposite over adjacent, right? So opposite over adjacent, okay? Right, so we know it's A over B. So this was A, right? This was A, and B will now be tan theta equals, we know it's opposite over adjacent, right? So therefore tan theta equals A over B, right? You guys with me? Right, let's look at the next question. Okay, so they now telling us that A is 5, okay, and they telling us that theta has, this angle has a size, and the size now is 50 degrees, right? Okay, so you have angle side, okay, you have angle and one side, and we need to calculate the value of B, okay? So let's look at this. Okay, let's just get some more space over here. Okay, so looking at that, we can say now that we can say, I think let's use tan. We can say the tan of 50 degrees equals, obviously we know, let me just put that there correctly, opposite over adjacent, right? So therefore the tan of 50 degrees equals, opposite we know is 5, right? And adjacent is B. Okay, so what we can do now is we can put this over 1, and we can do what I've showed you guys in previous videos. We can cross multiply, right? So what's that going to give me now? It's going to give me B tan 50 degrees equals 5, right? Because it's going to be 5 times 1, right? And obviously you know you want B on your own, so therefore B equals 5 over tan 50 degrees. Alright, you guys with me? Okay, so all you're going to do now is you're going to hit that into your calculator. So again, remember we said therefore B equals 5 over tan 50 degrees. Okay, so therefore B equals, okay, let me get my calculator out here. Okay, so we know it's 5. Well, let's just put our fraction in there. It's 5 over tan 50. Alright, and there you have it. It's 4.1 195, right? And if they were to say to one decimal place, it would be 4.2, right? So we know B is equal to 4.2. Okay, right. Let's go to the next question. Next question says, let's read it there. It says, given that angle A equals 38.2 degrees and angle B equals 146.4 degrees, calculate the value of 2 cosec A plus cos 3B. Okay, so let's go again to a nice open space. Alright, let's just get that one more time. Okay, or let's just maybe do it here so that you don't have to go back and forth. So we have 2 cosec, right? So what you should know about cosec is that you have cot, you have cosec, right? And this one, cosec, is 1 over sine A, right? Because cosec is 1 over sine, okay? Plus cos 3B. Okay, so what we can do now is we can say 2 times 1 over, so sine A is going to be the sine of 38.2 degrees plus the cos 3. Okay, so I don't have any space there. I want to move this to an area where I have some space. So let's write it underneath here. So let's say 2 times 1 over sine 38,2 plus the cos of 3 times 146.4. Okay, because we know B is 146.4. Apologies. Okay, so this we can hit into our calculator as is. It should give us an answer. So we can say, we can clear this, we can say 2 times, that was 1 over sine 38.2, close, plus cos 3 times 146 point, let's just go back there, 146.4 right, and that gives you a value of 3.42 rounded off to 2 decimal places. That's going to equal 3.42. So that would be the value of the question, which was 2 cosec A plus cos 3B. Okay. Next question, it says simplify fully without the use of a calculator. So the question is tan 45 times tan squared, sine 45 times tan squared 60 over cos 45. Okay, so let's look at it here. So it says sine 45 degrees times tan squared 60 degrees over cos 45 degrees, right? Okay, again, from my previous videos, you would have heard about special angles, right? And you would know now that sine 45 is 1 over root 2 And then your tan squared 60 can be written as tan 60 degrees squared over, and we know cos 45 is also 1 over root 2. So if you don't know this, guys, what you can do is you can draw your special angle. So your 45, 45, 90, right? You know it's 45 there and it's 45 there, and it's 1, 1 root 2. So we know sine would be opposite over hypotenuse, so 1 over root 2, and cos of 45 would be 1 over root 2. So both will give you 1 over root 2, right? Then we have tan of 60 degrees, so 1 over root 2 times tan of 60 degrees. So this again, we can look at the special angle of 30, 60, 90. And we know this is root 3. Apologies, root 3, 1, 2, right? So again, tan 60, we know is opposite over adjacent. So what is opposite the 60 degree angle? It's root 3. So it's going to be root 3 over 1, because adjacent to the 60 degree angle is 1, right? Squared all over 1 over root 2. Okay, now as you can see here, guys, what we can do is we can, because this is a multiplication over here, we can cancel this, right? And what happens when we cancel that? We'll now be left with root 3 over 1 squared. Alright, and what does this just mean? We're gonna square the root 3 and square the 1, and that's gonna leave us with squaring the root 3 would give me 3, right? And squaring the 1 would give me 1, so it's 3 over 1, which is 3. Okay? Alright, let's look at if there's a next question there. Okay, there's one more question. It says, given that 5 cos beta minus 3 equals 0, and 0 degrees is less than beta, and 90 degrees is greater than beta, if alpha plus beta equals 90 degrees, and 0 is smaller than alpha, and it is smaller than 90 degrees, alpha is smaller than 90 degrees, calculate the value of cot A, right? Alright, so we need to get all this information down here. And so I'm going to erase this previous one here, and I'm going to write it over here. So we know that 5 cos beta minus 3 equals 0, right? So we can start with this equation, alright? So we have this in the equation. What we can do is here, we can take that 3 over. So we can say 5 cos beta equals 3. Then we can divide both sides by 5, right? And now we have cos beta on its own, right? So as you can see, cos beta equals 3 over 5. Okay, so if you can allow me, we now know that cos beta equals 3 over 5. Okay, and how do we find an angle? We're gonna second function it, so we're gonna say shift cos minus 1 3 over 5, right? And let's go to our calculator. We know we're gonna say shift cos, right? It's gonna give you cos to the minus 1, and we're gonna say 3 over 5, right? And what does that give you? 53.130 degrees. Okay, so we know now that beta equals 53. Let's just get it again there. 53.130, right? Okay, so we can now take that out. We know now that beta equals 53.130 degrees. Alright, so we've just found an unknown. Alright, remember the question is calculate the value of cot alpha. Okay, remember they said they want cot alpha. Okay, but remember, we now found beta, but alpha is still unknown. Okay, so what do I do now? If I have beta, I can now say that alpha plus beta equals 90 degrees. Remember, we have beta plus 53.130 equals 90 degrees. So therefore, alpha equals 90 degrees minus 53.130 degrees, right? And again, you can just piece that into your calculator if you want to. We can say 90 minus 53.130, okay? And you get 36.87 degrees, okay? So now you found alpha, all right? You now know that alpha is 37 degrees, right? So let's take that out. You now found alpha. We know that alpha is 37.87 degrees. So now we can find cot alpha, right? So cot alpha is equal to 1 over tan alpha, okay? So 1 over tan alpha is the inverse of cot alpha, right? So what are we going to do? We're going to say this equals to 1 over tan 37.87, okay? Let's go back to our calculators. Oh, it's 36.87, apologies. 36.87, so we're going to go 1 over tan 36.87. And we have 1,33 to 2 decimal places, right? 1,33. So let's just fix that. Let's just fix this one here. We know it's 36.87, right? 0.87, so therefore cot alpha equals 1,33. Okay, and that is all it is for today, guys. I hope this helped a lot. I hope this is going to help with the upcoming exams. Until next time, guys, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and until next time, guys, let's do C. Okay, so C says 4.1.1. C says sine 90 degrees minus theta. Okay, and let's do it below here. So sine 90 degrees, hey, what am I doing? Sine 90 degrees minus theta actually equals cos theta, okay? So this is actually what we call cofunction, okay? I'll drop a video on cofunctions, but yes, for now, you need to know that sine 90 degrees minus theta equals cos theta, okay? And we know if we go look at the angle here again, cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, so adjacent to theta is B and hypotenuse is C, so therefore we know that cos theta equals B over C. Okay.